So my favorite project is called the Idea Graph. So what we wanted to do was we want to Uber the patent system. So patents are based on these papers that are filed, and we have lots of lawyers adjudicating them. What we want to do is turn it from a static data source like a patent to something that's living like a tree. So the original idea would be the Genesis record, and then as people add value to it, it grows like a tree, much like GitHub or even the blockchain itself using a Merkle tree. So this idea is based on the concept that, like identity, patents are actually broken, and the fact that you have non-practicing entities making hundreds of millions of dollars extorting money from real developers and innovators, it's like ransomware for patents. So what we want to do is make something different. So we created the system called the IP blockchain and the Idea Graph, and it's running, and we're going to deploy it in the area of life sciences in the form of vaccine research. So we've partnered with Dr. Eric Klassine and Dr. Ab Osterhaus, who were the team that sequenced SARS and are the top experts on avian flu. So we had this idea of applying the Idea Graph to vaccine research in order to take the vaccine medicine life cycle and apply this idea to it to see if we could reduce the time to finding a vaccine from 18 months to maybe 15 months. If we could even shave a month or two off, and it's a pandemic, it would save millions of lives. And also the two scientists said, if you could just get all the pharma companies from bothering you while I'm trying to find the vaccine, that would probably save 2 months. So that's what we're doing as our first project. Their approach was, we'd like to write a paper and submit it to one of the top scientific journals and then have that released as our announcement to the world. That's going, I went to Caltech, I was going, I know scientists that have tried all their lives to get into science and nature. And then they went, what's the problem? We've been published 50 times, right? So our paper is in peer review now at one of the two journals. And I can't talk about it because it's under embargo. So that's the first thing we're gonna do is test the idea of disrupting disruption, of innovating the process of innovation. Because if you can actually increase the speed of innovation, it impacts the entire blockchain industry. So we thought that would be a leverage point that we could use to go into exponential innovation. One of the other companies we're working with is called CR2O, and they're a clinical research organization that has done over 400 clinical phase 1 to phase 4 trials. Oops. Yeah, so it's not building. And our theory is that if you could apply blockchains to the clinical trials business, it would decrease the cost of clinical trials. It would allow you to prevent a posteriori data beautification, which is a nice way of saying cheating. And then it would secure automation through smart contracts. So our estimate is that this would save 70% of the cost of a phase 3 trial, which would mean that you could probably test 3 times as many drugs, because right now we're kind of at a limit of how many we can test. So those are the kinds of things that we're working on in the lab, and we'd love to, and because we love Mike in this conference, we said we talk about the stuff that we're working on. Okay, and then I'll give you a little, you can take a picture of this slide. This is how we came up with the idea, right? We just have these 6 rules. One is stop reading white papers and start writing them. Right, whatever it takes, start writing one. Learn by doing, which means you can't read a book about blockchains. You actually have to go deploy one to find out how they break. The next is you have to be pro-community. So that's why I ask people from the standards groups to come. Even if it's something that you don't want to do, you should actually listen in, because there may be something you learned by connecting with. But for me, it was like meeting the top 50 CTOs of all the blockchain companies and then discussing this. That's where I did my learning. Leveraging technology, build a reusable technology platform that's fit to purpose. Leverage your investment, partner with blockchain VCs. That's a great way to accelerate your growth rate. And then, do you guys know about this term called blue water or blue ocean innovation? Yeah, seek blue water, don't seek red. If you say, oh, we're gonna put this static data on a blockchain to verify it, then you're in red water, because anybody else could do that. Think of something that no one's done before. Okay? Thanks.